In this video, we will discuss about the syphilis. Syphilis is also called as the great imitator or the great mimicker because its symptoms can be similar to that of the other diseases. It is also called as the Lewis or the French disease or French pox. So it is a bacterial infection caused by a Treponema pallidum. Treponema pallidum is basically a spirochete that is motile. Treponema pallidum is a spirochete that is motile, microaerophilic, and for the diagnostic purpose you can go for the dark ground microscopy for the Treponema pallidum. It can be seen in the dark ground microscopy. So coming to the syphilis, we have two type of syphilis. First is congenital and other one is acquired. From the name itself, congenital, that is at the time of birth from the infected mother to the infant. So acquired, whenever there is a contact with infected person. So we have three stages in the acquired syphilis: primary, secondary and the tertiary. So firstly we will discuss about the congenital syphilis, some characteristic features of the congenital syphilis. So firstly there is frontal bossing, saddle nose, and there is a retrognathic maxilla and prognathic mandible. Basically, there is a hypoplasia of maxilla, so that's why the mandible appear as prognathic. So there is a relative prognathism of mandible. So coming to the other characteristic features of the congenital syphilis, now here you can see that there is a fissuring around the oral cavity and the nasal cavity. So these fissures are called as a ragetes. So what are ragetes? These are the fissures around the oral cavity, basically around the oral cavity, but these can also be seen around the nasal cavity. So these are continuous. Two ragetes are continuous pre-fissuring because there is something called as a pseudo-ragetes. These are not continuous fissuring around oral cavity, they are just shallow. So these are pseudo-ragetes are seen in the erythropoietin protoporphyra and in a condition called as an anhydrotic type of ectodermal dysplasia. Pseudo-ragetes will not be seen in the congenital syphilis. Characteristically, two ragetes are seen. So coming to the next one, that is there is abnormal thickening of sternoclavicular joint. So this is called as a Higoumenecki sign. So abnormal thickening of sternoclavicular joint can be unilateral or can be bilateral in the congenital syphilis. So in this picture you can see there is a curvature in the tibia. So this is called as Shaber shin. Shaber shin means your tibia becomes convex. Another characteristic feature of a congenital syphilis. So here there is a notching of incisors. Or the anterior teeth. So they become peg laterals. They are called as peg laterals because they become like that of the screwdriver shape. So before coming to the notching of incisors, let's something discuss about the Hutchinson stride. So it is composed of three components. There are oral manifestation, basically the hypoplastic tooth, and there is interstitial keratitis, involvement of the eye, that is the involvement of eye, and eighth cranial nerve paralysis or deafness. So hypoplastic teeth, they can be incisors or molars can be affected. Incisors we already discussed, there is a notching of incisors and they become the screwdriver shaped or the peg laterals. And coming to the molars, you can see in the picture there is a incomplete, basically these are the globules or the incomplete cusp formation. These are the globules or incomplete cusp formation. Enamel is not fully formed. So this gives like that of appearance of mulberry fruit. So that's why they are also called as a mulberry molars. So the molars are also called as a mulberry molars, Moon's molars, and Fournier's molars. So together they are called as a Hutchinson's teeth or the Hutchinson's Beck teeth. So coming to the acquired syphilis, we already discussed that whenever there is a contact with the infected person. So firstly there is a primary syphilis. This is the primary stage. First stage, there is a formation of ulcer that is formed at the site of inoculation. This ulcer is painless and particularly this is called as a chancre, Hunterian chancre. So this is non-contagious until it is secondarily infected. So coming to the secondary syphilis, that occurs after 6 to 30 weeks of primary syphilis. There are mucus patches or the papules in the oral cavity. So this stage is highly contagious and the highly infective stage of syphilis. So mucus patches gives the appearance of the snail track or the snail path. So that's why they are also called as the snail track ulcers, as you can compare the two. So this is look like that of snail track or the snail path. So gives like that of snail track appearance. So there is a term called as a Luis maligna. Maligna stands for the malignant, that is when it spreads from one part of the body to the other parts of body. And Luis is another name for the syphilis. So that's why when the secondary syphilis starts spreading from one part of the body to the other part. So these are the mucus patches. And coming to the tertiary syphilis. In the tertiary syphilis, there is a formation of nodular swelling that is called as a gumma. So gumma is a nodular swelling. It can be seen in the tongue or in the palate. So it is not contagious, it is not infectious stage, but it is a pre-malignant condition of the oral cavity. It is a pre-malignant condition. It can lead to the carcinoma, particularly the squamous cell carcinoma. And there can be the perforation of palate due to when there occurs the ulceration of this swelling. So whenever tertiary syphilis occurs, there is a chronic atrophic glossitis. So that's why there is a continuous or the chronic inflammation of epithelium. So that's why it can lead to the squamous cell carcinoma and it is a pre-malignant condition. So this is a picture of the pseudoregatis, the patient infected with a condition called as a erythropoietin protoporphyria. So here you can see these are the not continuous fissures but fissuring around the oral cavity, but these are not continuous and these are shallow. So these are seen in two conditions but not in the congenital syphilis. Here there is a swelling of the knee joint. So this is called as a Clutton's joint. What is Clutton's joint? It is painless swelling of the knee joint. That is another characteristic feature of the congenital syphilis. In the histopathology, basically there is an involvement of the blood vessels or the perivascular area. You can see the lymphocytes, plasma cells. And coming to the test, diagnostic test for the syphilis, for the congenital syphilis, there is a test named as a Wassermann and Hilton's test. Wassermann and Hilton's test. And for the acquired, we can go for the VDRL. Drug of choice for the syphilis is penicillin. So this was all about the syphilis. Thank you.